Howdy doody everybody, I hope you're doing great. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Mizu or Mizuzune because basically one of the best water monsters in the game. And the reason that we're super interested in water is some of the strongest monsters in the game are weak to water. Unfortunately, there isn't like a super hard-hitting water monster. Hopefully they introduce some water monsters out there. I don't know, you guys can remind me of the water-based monsters. I'm hoping that Namiel comes in at some point, but we do have Soul Seer Mizu in the future coming down the line as well. But let's do a review of its base skills. You guys kind of wanted me to do this. Check out some monsters, run through all of their skills and where they're positioned to work in PvE and PvP. So we're going to talk through some of that stuff and maybe give some skill suggestions. We'll see how this all goes. If you do like the content and you've been enjoying all the videos that I've been uploading, you're like 2.6, you've been banging out the videos, then definitely hit that subscribe button, because I know a couple of you guys watch but don't necessarily subscribe, but that subscribe makes a difference, pushes me up on the algorithm, you know. Very good. So let's get into it. Firstly, obviously Mizu's a water-based monster, has a variety of different skills which are kind of focused on debuffs in terms of speed and accuracy and all of that stuff. It seems that the blue skills are more based around evasion and all of those lovely things as well, and like speed and stuff like that. So we're definitely, when we're talking about Mizu, maybe gonna spec into that stuff a little bit more and see if we can get those evades off and get that attack off a bit faster, because speed, even though it's only got a speed of 11 here, there are skills that you can use to decrease the enemy speed, which will then increase yours because you're basically faster than them by debuffing them. So let's get into it. Here we have a number of set skills. We've obviously got the generic ones that come on it. It seems like Mizu can have health up gene on his board, which is kind of interesting. I know a load of people love health up and all of the defensive ones when they're trying to build a stalling monster. So maybe you want to farm Mizu just because you can get like health up on there. But let's talk about Mizu's moves. So here we have deals heavy water damage to one enemy and lowers speed, and a medium chance to lower speed for 3 turns. Okay, there's a lot of keywords in here. Let's just break them down and go through them. So heavy water damage. So heavy damage is like the second from the top. So it's basically like a B grade. A grade being massive damage. That's what we're looking for. But B grade is definitely the most common one that you're going to get that does quite a lot of damage and mass damage. So Aqua Blaster looks cool anyway. Just shoots out a fat off beam in front of you and just does a line and does damage, and then has a medium chance to lower speed, which is very good for PvP, as I spoke about earlier. Lowering their speed means that your attacks are going to come out faster and blah 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 blah. But the great thing about this is it's only 21 points, which is quite easy to accrue. So if your kinship skill is 21 points, then this means the monster will automatically do this skill if you have enough kinship gauge ready and available. So if your monster's sitting there just passively in a fight at like 30, your monster will do this automatically without you having to take an action if it is the strongest elemental attack on the monster at that given moment, which is awesome. Definitely one that you should buff up and make sure that you double up on if you're going to do this. I wouldn't even take this off of Mizu right here. Then we've got kind of like an iconic move. If you've played the Mizu boss fight, you will know that this is your bane of your existence and probably one of the things that nearly killed you the most. And this is Bewitching Bubbles. Does medium water damage to all enemies, and again, lowers speed and accuracy. Accuracy being lowered is great. It means the enemy will essentially miss attacks, has a chance to miss attacks, or for you to evade them, basically, which is huge. It means that you just don't take damage because you're dodging. You're just dodging attacks. You're just like out here like a boxer. You're just like whoop, 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 blah. So Mizu's like dancing around, being a little slippery toad. And obviously, again, it is 23 points. So this one's quite cheap, and it's a speed attack. Mizu is a tech monster. So baked in 2 different variants of attacks, both speed and technical, which is what you kind of want to see on monsters in general, so that you can, if you're playing PvP or PvE, you can mix it up and kind of get those head-to-heads off against the enemies rather than having to switch out your monster just to compete with them. I always like having a kind of at least 2 different attack types on my monster at any given point, just so I have that variety, and I go for like common ones such as speed or like technical, and then mix it up from there as is needed. And then we have a really cool skill, and I've read this description, but I don't think it will work how I'm thinking it will work. But this is Bubbly Dance. Again, another evade skill, only 21 points. Maybe he might pop this off by himself, but when you're rocking this on your Mizu, this basically allows you to evade an attack. Normally the evade attack skills usually says it can't evade certain skills or kinship attacks, but this doesn't say anything at all, and it says it's only valid for 1 turn by default. So maybe you can increase this by buffing it up a number of different times to increase the amount of turns that it is active for, which is going to be huge, because if you do it 1 turn then have another attack on the go while this is active, it's going to be a huge boon and advantage for you in PvP especially. And the reason that we're going to be talking about Mizu, if there is a board out there that somebody created on the Reddit, I'll try to put the link in the description for you guys to look through, but this person's gone through and collated the information that's available on Kuranico about the highest stat values that you can get on your Mizus and your monsters in general, so we can get a gist of what is the hardest hitting monsters in the game and which ones are essentially the best for their skills and for their damage and their attack and all of that stuff. So at a max level, I think it says that Mizu is going to be hitting for, let me see if I can scan through, for about 563. Obviously that can be buffed with not only the nutrients, so the attack nutrients that add elemental damage, and with adding plus XL like water and stuff on it, which adds, someone told me in a comment yesterday, 30 and then 5 and then 5 damage. So that's another 40 damage that you can add on top, which is a lot, but we're kind of really looking for that crazy amount of damage, which on other base monsters, the rarity 7 monsters, with Mizu only being a rarity 5 monster, means that they're kind of down on it, basically. They're kind of down on the damage. I just noticed I've been referring to Mizu as a he the whole time. Is Mizu a he or a she? Maybe I should have researched that before. You guys can tell me. Sorry if I got that wrong. I know people get so angry when you misgender the monsters and the Monsties and stuff like that. So I apologize if I've done that incorrectly, guys. I don't know. Missing part of information of my video. But I would highly recommend that you pick up Mizu, not only because they're weak for, there's lots of monsters weak to water, such as Teostra and Bloodbath. Bloodbath looks like it's going to be hitting hard, and Teostra, you already know, I've got a video out on this showing off how insane Teostra is, so definitely think about picking up Mizu. And Mizu's very good for the 7th floor in the Elder's Lair, so if there's one monster that you kind of need to make your life easier and get through some content in this game, is Mizu. So build one up on the side just so you have a nice water monster that is ready to go and get things done and get that damage out there. I would highly recommend that you pick up a Mizu. If you guys want to see me do more of these type of reviews where I just talk about the monsters for a little bit and talk about the base skills and how they kind of sit in the whole realms of things, I could do more of these. You guys can vote in the comments about what video I do next, but I really enjoy doing this, like kind of breaking down stuff. You can see here, actually, before I end the video, that I've kind of got my suggested skills on my Mizu, but we'll go through, and I don't think this is the final form, but maybe you can get a gist for some stuff. We've got Evasion Instinct. Evasion Instinct is another blue skill that you can put on your monster that is going to increase the evasion chance, which we already get from the decreased accuracy from some of the moves that Mizu's spitting out here. And then we've got Dancer. Dancer's a really good one, which is increases speed when at full HP, and also greatly increases attack and defense. That's the spice that we're looking for. So more attack, more defense, and maybe that's why one of the reasons that Mizu or the water monsters have like less like attack, because maybe Dancer comes into that and Dancer boosts their damage so much that there isn't a need for it. So until Soul Seer is out, we'll have to really drill down on Mizu for now, or you guys can select whatever monsters that you guys want. I know that you guys are really particular about your monsters and your monster teams. You guys have been creating some really incredible ones as well, and it's been so fun to see you guys actually reach endgame and kind of really delve into content and the builds and all of that stuff. Anyway guys, that was a quick video on Mizu and all of the skills and all of that stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you had a great time. But I'll be back with some more content. If you haven't checked out this morning's video or this recent video on the Palamutes, then definitely do. Palamute is out tomorrow, should be July 15th, and there's a couple of other tidbits happening with Monster Hunter Stories in the coming days, so we'll definitely be bringing that information to you. Anyway guys, bye bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can subscribe so you don't miss another video.